Just a quick drop to the ground, and here you are, born smack dab in the middle of a wide open field in the American West. Mom gives you a few licks, then nudges you to get those wobbly spaghetti legs working, and a warm hug for the ground. A couple more face plants, and soon enough you're wobbling around upright, looking like a person trying on heels for the first time. You wobble over and grab your first sip from the unlimited milk tap conveniently located under Mom. Not exactly Starbucks, but it'll do. Barely had a taste when the herd decides it's time to move, and Mom's off, so you follow her wobbly pace. This is your herd, about 8 mares, or maybe 9. And that old guy over there, that's the stallion, the leader and protector of the group, and he's also your dad. By the way, you're not the only newbie here. There are foals everywhere, all looking like tiny, shaky adults just learning to keep their legs in check. You all start sniffing each other's noses and bumping heads in what could pass as a full version of a handshake. By the time you're 4 months old, you're starting to get pretty tired of milk, so you start giving grass a try like the adults. That first bite isn't exactly a breeze, but just as you're wondering if you'll ever get the hang of it, a weird, sharp smell wafts in. You flick an ear, glance up, and... oh, hi, Mr. Wolf. Before you can even think about turning tail, the stallion's already in front of you, snorting and stamping like a full-blown alarm system on 4 legs. The wolf pauses, sizing him up, clearly realizing that dealing with an angry stallion and a whole herd of horses is not on his to-do list. After a few seconds of maybe, maybe not, he slinks back into the bushes like a ghost. Well, didn't expect that to be so easy. Alright, back to figuring out how to chew this green stuff. Days go by and you start picking up on the herd's schedule. Mornings mean munching grass, afternoons are for lazing around. Every now and then, you all watch as the stallion squares off with some pushy newcomers trying to take over the whole group. Life goes on like this until one chilly morning, something's different. A sharp bite in the wind, an earthy scent you haven't smelled before. The adults start moving, herding together with a sense of urgency. Winter's on its way, and the world's about to change. The grass turns dry and brittle, waterholes shrink to puddles, and your carefree days are swapped out for long treks, searching for anything green and drinkable. Survival isn't just about how fast you can run. It's about knowing the right place at the right time. Your little body's changing, too. That soft fur you started with is growing tougher, thicker, and warmer. A cozy layer from nature to help you brace for the cold season. Or, let's be real, just to make things a bit less miserable, since this fur isn't exactly winter armor. The herds huddle close, pulling you and the other foals into the center to shield you from the biting chill whenever the wind picks up. Now it's better. You watch the older horses, hooves scraping through the snow to uncover the scraggly grass underneath. You give it a shot, pawing with your little hooves, and a bit of grass for the taking. It's not much, but it'll do. 2 years later, and you've officially entered your juvenile phase, but being grown up isn't quite what you expected. Life's starting to feel like a never-ending parade of kicks and shoves from the stallion. He's had just about enough of you and your buddies, too. As the only adult male in the herd, he's not thrilled about having a bunch of young colts coming of age around him. So you've got 2 choices. Take him on for control or hit the road. Alright, make your move. Good choice. Sometimes keeping all your limbs in one piece is the smartest option. You might as well say goodbye to your friend on the way out. Oh, never mind, he's already trailing along, kicking out just like you. Meanwhile, the young mares get to stay with the herd. Now it's just the 2 of you, trekking through the mountains and settling into your new bachelor lifestyle. Days are spent searching for food, facing off with wolves, and sometimes making a swift retreat. Then, one day, you stumble upon a herd of 5 other young stallions. Great, new friends. You join up and form a bachelor gang, and suddenly life's looking a lot more interesting. You all roam together, hunting for food, and every so often, fights break out within the group. Watching these scraps becomes the highlight of your day as you sit back learning a few fighting moves and keep yourself out of the fray, until you're big enough to take your fair share of knocks. This bachelor herd has a pecking order, and it's based on strength. To climb up, you have to challenge the horse above you, then the next until you reach the top. And that only happens after a lot of rough and bloody fights. Okay, let's advance the story a little, and you've finally become the strongest in the group. What's the next step? Finding a herd of mares and taking it over. Amazing, you're about to leave the bachelor life behind. You and your gang set off, and soon enough you cross paths with a pack of wolves. But they don't seem interested in you. They're actually targeting a herd with only 1 male. It's much easier to take on a single stallion than a whole bachelor gang. Makes sense. You nod politely to each other and keep moving. Wait a minute. You're both after the same thing, a herd of mares. Things just got interesting. You keep trekking over hills and endless plains. Oh, look there, a herd of mares ripe for the taking. Their stallion doesn't exactly look like he's in fighting shape, and your buddies are hyping you up. They know you're the strongest in the group, and they're ready to see you claim your prize. They're practically breaking out the popcorn as you warm up for the showdown. The stallion catches sight of you and knows what's up. Game on. In minutes, the duel kicks off. You're throwing hoof strikes and, when necessary, going in with teeth. Oh, right, he's got teeth too. Ow, that stings. The fight drags on until you've had enough, usually about 5 minutes of back and forth. Nice try. Your crew are sizing up the other stallion's strength based on how you're holding up. Since you're the strongest of the bunch, they know their chances are slim if you're struggling. You head back to the group, covered in bruises and scratches. Close one, apparently. After a bit of recovery, you go after another stallion you find on the way. And, yep, round 2 of bruises. Turns out claiming a herd isn't as easy as it sounds. It's a game of attempts and setbacks. You remember watching your old leader go through this until he finally won a herd. So each scar from these battles just toughens you up, makes you sharper. Winter's here and the landscape shifts. Food becomes scarce, your fur thickens, and thoughts of sparring with other stallions takes a back seat to survival. You and your crew wander for miles, scouring for anything edible and drinkable. When the biting cold hits, you find shelter near cliffs, huddling up to stay warm. This goes on until spring finally returns. The heavy winter coat starts to shed, and your herd mates return to their sparring routines. As for you, it's back to the hunt for a stallion with some lovely mares to win over. By age 5, you finally succeed, defeating a stallion and claiming his mares and their young for yourself. Nice, now you're the new stallion. Your old group breaks up, with the strongest taking the lead in your place. Welcome to your new life, with all new challenges. Now you're the one fending off wolves. Having all these mares doesn't come without a cost. You raise your hooves and fend off wolves one by one, thanks to all the skills you honed in past fights. They finally back off, giving you a moment's peace before you guide the herd to a safe spot with enough grass. This new life as lead stallion isn't quite the glamorous gig you imagined. Protecting, finding food, guiding, and fighting. Lots of fighting. Now your opponents range from wolves and mountain lions to ambitious young stallions who want your spot. Your mares mostly keep to their roles, giving birth, caring for the young, and watching you throw down in fights. At this age, you're at peak strength, nearly unbeatable, and if you get injured, the mares look after you. So lucky. Winter rolls around again, bringing fresh challenges, long treks, and gnawing hunger. You lead your herd to the spots you think might still hold food and water, relying on the wisdom you've built over the years. At least in winter you get a break from those young stallions, though there's the occasional wolf that still needs a reminder of who's boss. You've got this routine down by now. By age 12, you've fought more battles than you can count and roamed these plains so often you know every inch. You're starting to feel it though. Your muscles ache and you're slowing down. But no one cares, you've still got to fight. This might be your last showdown. A young stallion stands before you, brimming with energy and ambition, his gang cheering him on. No sweat, you've got the... Oh, well, that was quick. Just like that, you're defeated. The mares are gone without so much as a goodbye. How's that for gratitude? Now, for the first time, you're truly alone, wandering the same plains you once ruled with your herd. After years of protecting them, you're left hoping you can protect yourself. Winter's here. This time, I'm not so sure your body can take the biting cold, but let's find out. You push forward alone through the freezing winds, scaling mountains in search of anything green. You've got a bit of fat stored from the last seasons. Hopefully it'll keep you going. You keep moving until you find the side of a rocky cliff and settle down beneath it for shelter. Remember when you used to huddle here with the herd, all packed tight to stay warm? Now it's just you, no one to lean on. Think they even remember you? Oh, look over there. There's that old wolf you've taught a lesson to so many times. Looks like he might be back for a little revenge. And he's brought friends. What a way to go. Dinner for a bunch of mangy wolves.